Now you're probably asking yourself, why are we talking about buyer financing if we're talking about the perspective of I am the seller? Because as the seller, I don't have to provide buyer financing. However, it's something that I have to pay very close attention to, because what happens if the buyer doesn't get their financing? Well, the deal falls through. I lose time and money, and who knows what else happens. So, what are the things that I need to pay attention to as a seller when we're talking about buyer financing? Well, the first thing is going to be the appraisal. Now, if they're getting a loan, the bank's going to order appraisal because the bank will only loan enough money to cover what the home is worth. Now, when this becomes an issue is in a market like today, where prices are either accelerating, or in markets where the prices are decelerating at a rapid pace because the appraisals cannot keep up with the market changes. So the buyer must understand one thing very clearly, that if their appraisal comes in below what the offer price is, then they're going to have to pay the difference in cash out of pocket. And for some buyers, that's a no-go. They're not going to be able to do that. So the clearest understanding, I mean, you can talk about it verbally, but the clearest understanding is in writing. So you make that clear up front that if the appraisal comes in, you're going to cover the difference in cash. Now then there's underwriting. Underwriting is the process where somebody gets pre-approved for a loan, they put in an offer, you accept the offer, they take that offer, that agreed upon offer, and they go back to their lender, and the lender looks at everything again. They're going to look at the buyer's qualifications. Did the buyer do anything crazy, like buy something, go and buy a car during the escrow process, things that are just a huge red flag for an underwriter. So understand what's happening with the underwriting, and then their credit score. What was their credit score coming in, and what is their credit score today? Did they do something to affect their credit score? Maybe they have a 682 FICO score, and they're getting a loan based on that. And then they do something and it drops them to a 670. That can be a no-go on a loan. That may affect their ability to borrow the money they need to buy your house. So you have to understand what their credit score is, and you can ask for that. You can say, we need to know your FICO scores and what have you, because it's up to you to accept their offer. You don't have to accept it. If they don't want to give you their FICO scores, you have the right to go on to the next offer. And then contingencies are the biggest thing you got to worry about. Buyer contingencies are around appraisals, financing, and home inspections. And there's twofold to the financing piece. That was the appraisal, and can they get their loan based on other factors like their credit. If they impact their credit some way and they can't perform, most likely they're going to have a contingency in their offer that says that they can walk away with no harm, no foul. So those are the things you need to understand when you're talking about buyer financing, because in the end, it can cost a lot of time and, more importantly, a lot of money if you don't understand the key aspects to what the buyer has to do when they get their financing. Because these are the questions you need to ask before you accept their offer. So you need to filter these things out before you even accept their offer, and then understand what's going to happen next after you accept that offer. Hope that helps. As always, if you need some help, just send me an email, michael@4rta.com, or give me a call at 415-271-5703. I'll be happy to answer your questions.